Hi, Ann Cornick from Paint and Porcelain. As you know, my goal is always to try to get more people interested in China painting. And I work to get beginners particularly interested in China painting, and 2021 was no exception. I wanted to share with you some of the most memorable moments of 2021. They include things like all the studies that we worked on, some of the new gadgets that we learned how to use, and of course, the web page and all the new products and supplies that I had available to get beginners involved in China painting and to help you all, with your next project. We also tried a lot of new gadgets. The first was with the Easter eggs. That occurred around Easter time. We learned how to use the egg lathe. And if you've never used an egg lathe, you won't want to miss and go back and check out those videos. The first time we used it, we learned how to do some banding. And the second time, I showed you how to do enameling, but not with enamel, with raised base for gold. One of the highlights of this year was when the World Organization of China Painters asked me to contribute some of my work to the China Painter magazine. I was thrilled. This is something that's been on my bucket list ever since I first began China painting, and I really was shocked when they called because I didn't expect to be invited to do this. And that, I think, is probably one of the most memorable parts of 2021. Have you ever heard of doing pussy willows with Q-tips? Well, that's what we did this year. I wanted an easy way for beginners to learn how to do a pussy willow. And I really couldn't figure it out myself until I happened to be using my Q-tip one morning to clean off my china. And when I realized it gave you a nice, soft, fuzzy look, then I knew that was the way to do it. Besides the usual flowers and fruit that everybody likes to learn how to paint, we also took some time to learn how to use, the computer in a new and different way for China painting. There's an app called Prisma, and we used that to learn how to colorize a barn. I also invited Eloise Turnbull from Regina, Saskatchewan to join me on the show. It was the first time I had ever done anything international and the first time she had done anything international. And although we had some fuzzy pictures for a couple of minutes, it seemed like it worked out really well and was probably one of the most successful and most popular of the Facebook Lives that I did all year.
Good morning, ladies. It's nice to be here with Anne, and I hope we can help you along with some of these ornaments this morning.
Another new tool that we learned this year was how to use a palette knife on china. I learned how to do this palette knife work with Kelly Weiler from Girl Upcycled Studios. And we were doing palette knife work, and I thought, well, why can't we do it with pumpkins. And so not only did we learn how to do palette knife pumpkins, but we carried on and even learned how to do sunflowers using the palette knife to get extra texture in the leaves. Finally, I went to the Indiana school, and it was really something I hadn't expected. I learned so much, and I was able to bring some of it back thanks to Randy Willett, who allowed me to share his pumpkin plate. He really didn't want to be filmed doing it, and he wanted to share it with as many people as possible. So when I asked him, could I please share it with the people that I teach every Wednesday, he certainly agreed. If you want to learn more about this video or any of the other videos that I put together with tutorials in it, please check the comments below. So before we try to get started with any of our projects, I always try to have a line drawing available for you. It's only for a limited time, just long enough for you to download it and start your new project. Hopefully this gives you a chance to jumpstart your next project by having it available at the time that we go live and then working with me on it. I also try to make supplies available to beginners, such as I have a painting set out there that's just the basic colors so that they can purchase it and get started without a problem. And all of my studies, I have links to both the Facebook Live and the YouTube tutorials. It's a way of making sure that you always can paint along with me any time of the day or night. These are digitally downloaded and they're very reasonable. You go to my page, you purchase the item, and it'll immediately send you an email that will allow you to download the video and all of the paper information about how step by step to do the process, including pictures of both the first, second, and if there's a third fire. Sometimes I even include pictures, if it's a little bit tricky, of some of the steps that are involved. There's also China there for you if you want to buy a piece. I try to keep some of my estate finds, most of it is China that you can't find easily anymore, available to you, as well as brushes that I come across that I know will work well for both the beginner and the experienced painter. Thanks for joining me. See you soon. Pick up those brushes and keep painting.